If you want to do your own nails, you have to master doing your dominant hand. These are my top tips for making your dominant hand look just as good as your non-dominant one. And also, these are my favorite products to use. I swear they make all the difference. The key to making this process work is by using builder gel and doing fills, which means that I'm not soaking off my gel every single time with acetone, but instead I'm using a file and taking off just the grown out portion of my manicure and then filling in part that's grown out with my new manicure. When using my e-file, I use the exact same settings that I use for my non-dominant hand, and I make sure that I'm going from the cuticle area to the tip, and I'm constantly keeping my e-file moving and not applying any pressure. And because I do fills, there's always a thin layer of builder gel left on my nails, which protects the file from ever touching my natural nail. I also love using my cuticle bit with my e-file. I just feel like it does all the work for you, and it makes your cuticle work super precise, and it helps your manicures stay on. As a general rule of thumb, I always recommend quitting while you're ahead with your e-file. This means I suggest just taking off your top coat and the top layers of color, and then right when you start hitting your base coat, you can switch to your hand file just to smooth everything out and prep your nails for your next manicure. This will ensure that you don't ever go too far with your e-file and accidentally file your natural nail, because that is painful and it can be really damaging. Now, this is where all of the products that you use make such a huge difference. I love using the Cocoist line of products. It's my favorite brand that I've ever tried. First, I'm applying a layer of Mega Stick Base, which is a really adhesive, soft gel base coat. This layer gives your nails that extra added layer of protection when you're filing off your next manicure, and it also helps your builder gel stick so well. If you get any pooling gel, make sure to clean that up before you cure, and make sure to also wipe off your other finger with alcohol and a cotton ball right away. The secret to getting a perfect builder gel application on your dominant hand is using self-leveling gel. This is my favorite one. It's by Nail Thoughts and Cocoist, and it's tinted, so it's a 3-in-1 product, and it just makes your manicures so fast. I think it's also important to find the position that makes doing this the most comfortable for you. So I like to rest my hand on my surface while I'm doing my slip layer. But then when I'm applying my apex, I hold my hand in the air and angle my nail down towards the surface. This angle is going to help the gel self-level and make sure that your apex is in the correct spot. I'll also move my hand around just to check my angles and make sure I like the way it looks before I cure it. Whenever you're using builder gel, even with your non-dominant hand, it's super important to cure each nail one at a time. This will prevent pooling and just make sure that you freeze your apex in place when you like how it looks. Doing nail art with gel is just my favorite because you can play around with it as long as you want to until you like how it looks before you cure it and freeze it. And it just gives you so much more freedom because you don't have to worry about the polish drying out while you're still working on it. And that's why I felt confident enough to do a French tip on my dominant hand today. Of course, I'm finishing with my favorite top coat, and here's the final look. I feel like you almost can't even tell the difference between my dominant and non-dominant hand. And I promise that with a little bit of practice and the right products, you can totally do this yourself too.